Hello, welcome back to the channel, and today I am going to talk about what it's like to play wheelchair basketball as someone who can walk. Yes, yes, yes. I know I'm going to get this question, but Camille, you can walk. Why did you decide to play wheelchair basketball out of all the sports? Are you even allowed to do that as someone who can walk? Why, thank you, nice commenter. Yes, in fact, I can play wheelchair basketball and still walk. If we are talking when we get into the international wheelchair basketball teams, then that gets a little tricky, and they do want you to have some form of disability to be able to play wheelchair basketball, which I do also have. Just because you can walk doesn't mean you're not physically disabled. I have also read somewhere where they are thinking of also changing the rules in international wheelchair basketball, and they're thinking about allowing able-bodied people to play on said international teams. I don't know when that is becoming effect, but I have read somewhere on the international wheelchair basketball rules that they are thinking of allowing able-bodied people to play. If you look at a professional wheelchair basketball chair, you are strapped to the nines. Your legs ain't moving, whether you can or you can't. But that's not fair. I'm sorry, we're all strapped in wheelchairs and we're all not allowed to move our legs. There is no cheating in wheelchair basketball for able-bodied people. It's actually harder to play wheelchair basketball. And no, you do not just have to be paralyzed to play wheelchair basketball. There are many disabilities where people play wheelchair basketball. A lot of amputees play wheelchair basketball. I, as someone who has arthrogryposis, now we got that out of the way. Yes, I can play wheelchair basketball and walk. Thank you, comments. I wanted to explain what it's been like playing. I am fortunate enough that my sister actually works at an accessible gym, and one of their recreational activities they have is wheelchair basketball. And I was able to do a tryout session in the spring. Me and my sister went, and we both really enjoyed it. So last September, we decided to start the beginner course of wheelchair basketball, and I ain't looking back. I have enjoyed every single moment of playing. I've enjoyed playing, I've enjoyed learning, I've enjoyed watching other people learn and play. I have loved the social interaction because a lot of us are disabled who play, and so that's a huge disability community aspect that I realize I've been missing. Being part of the disability community again, which I feel like I have lost as an adult and have come back into, has been amazing. I have 3 coaches, and they are all really amazing. The one that I interact most is the person who runs it with his wife, and the wife is a Paralympian, and he is a Canadian national wheelchair basketball player, which I think is pretty cool. And both of them are amazing, kind, sweet, energetic, and doesn't say no to anyone, no matter their ability, which is really cool. I have seen some kids, especially, where I look at them and my mind goes, they can't play. What are you talking about? They don't even understand the rules. And these are kids that might be nonverbal and might have learning disabilities, intellectual disability. And the next thing I know, they're playing a game with us. And it's incredible. And the fact that my coaches don't say no to anyone is amazing, and it has helped me view certain situations differently. and watched some of my teammates who might be like physically disabled, who were having trouble even pushing their wheelchair 3 months ago, all of a sudden racing down the court with the best of them. One of the things that I was really worried about was the way my arthrogryposis affects me is it affects my shoulders and affects me very much when I'm sitting. This is about as far as I can raise my hands, and that is a problem when you're trying to shoot a basket. Because guess what? Wheelchair basketball, when you look at the net, is the same height as a walking basketball. And so that is very daunting, and I have not been able to shoot that high yet. I don't know if I ever will, but that's not the point of why I'm playing. I'm playing because I just want to be around the disability community and sort of be a little bit more active. Because this is a beginner course, what they tend to do is they'll have the regular basketball net at regular height, and then they put 2 hula hoops, so one here and one here. And the people that are learning, like me, have a chance to score and practice getting that height eventually. Because there is actually quite a bit of learning curve and skill that you have to learn to shoot. So having those hula hoops helps us with those skills needed to eventually reach the actual height of the net. It also allows everyone to play, especially those who disabilities are more physically disabling. And also because it's a beginner course, we play with a mix of older adults, and we also play with kids. So the kids are smaller than even me in the chair. So they're not reaching the basket anytime soon. They need a little bit more height. So the hula hoops also help them gain that confidence, and it helped me gain my confidence. Question I get a lot is, oh, so you have your own chair? No, I do not have my own professional basketball chair. Maybe one day, if I continue and really enjoy what I'm doing, but no. Do you have any idea how expensive those chairs are for a custom professional basketball chair? We're talking thousands and thousands of dollars. I am lucky enough that my gym supplies the wheelchairs, and the wheelchairs actually come in multiple different sizes. So I would say I'm probably in a quote-unquote junior chair because I am a small person, and I probably could go smaller, but yet again, because there's little kids, I allow the younger kids to try to use the smaller of the chairs. And I will be honest, I don't know if those chairs are truly basketball chairs or what we call sports chairs. And sport chairs are kind of sometimes the in-between, where you can use them for wheelchair basketball and you can use them for like wheelchair tennis as well. The type of wheelchair company that we got these chairs from is called Quickie, and I know that another wheelchair company is what is known as RGK, I believe, which they have also stunning everyday chairs, and they have stunning basketball chairs. I've looked at some of those chairs and like, oh my god, I want them so bad. They're so nice. So I use the chairs that are shared within our community. We do also have personal wheelchair chairs, basketball chairs, that like my coach might store his in. I think all the coaches store their basketball chairs in the facility. So you can tell the difference between the chair that I'm using and their chair, because their chairs are truly, truly fit their body. Also way lighter. My chair is a little bit on the heavier side, and to be honest, I don't think it should be that heavy. But for a chair I don't have to pay for, I shouldn't be complaining. I usually have a seatbelt around my waist, and they have one that goes around your legs, but I realized I like the strap actually attached at the bottom of my foot plate, and it actually cinches on my feet. I like my feet stuck together and not moving, because I find if my feet have movement, which naturally, because I can move my legs, I naturally just subconsciously move them, because when I'm propelling myself, my feet sort of go back to like add that propulsion, which actually I find really bothers my hips. So having my feet strapped keeps everything else sort of stuck. And also my foot plate on my chair is a little bit turned like a little bit like this. It's not solid flat. So having the strap forces my feet, my toes, and my heel to stay on the foot plate. Because before I was putting a lot of pressure on my toes. So this foot strap just keeps even weight on my feet. And I find that I actually, after playing for a while, my ankles don't hurt as much because my feet are strapped and I don't feel like I have to put weight on my feet to keep them steady. I've been able to go to one tournament this season, which was actually housed in our gym, which was really nice, and it was like so cool to see all these different teams from different parts of the community come, and some of them come far. We have like a tiny little kid team that were facing each other, and then there was a more intermediate, and then I was kind of in the middle with my sister and one of my teammates. I had a teammate who is physically disabled and a teammate who has been playing wheelchair basketball forever, because one of my coaches is his father. So he's been around wheelchair basketball all his life, and he is super good. And he's also super sweet, and he's been willing to take the time to teach me things, he's not like egotistical or anything. He like knows that he's good at it, but then he's also willing to share his knowledge and be very sweet and kind, and allowing people like me to have the ball on court and try to shoot. And so he's really really sweet, and he's like been begging me to go on the intermediate team. Practice after practice, he's like, so you're going to be on the actual team? You're going to be on the team? I'm like, yeah, I'll see next session. 2 teams. We have beginner and then intermediate. And intermediate, I believe, has more time to actually go out and play within the community. And I've done 2 sessions of wheelchair basketball, two like rounds of it. So the third round is a 6-week thing, and I might go up and play on the intermediate. It's not really intermediate, but the more professional team. Me and my sister also have a chance to go to the gym on our off practices and practice alone, and I've made, I think, 2 vlogs of that. So if you want to see me and my sister practice wheelchair basketball on our off days, then you can go see. I have those in my YouTube portfolio, or whatever you want to call it. It's on my feed. Go find it. So I have 2 vlogs of practicing, and then 1 of a tournament that I did. I really, really wish that I would have learned earlier that I could actually play wheelchair basketball, and I didn't have to not be able to walk to be able to play. And I realized that being in a wheelchair has helped me have a better perspective on accepting that maybe down the line that I might need a wheelchair part-time. You deal with chronic pain, and I'm sure that pain and discomfort is going to get worse as I get older, and it definitely is not going to get better. And I realize playing wheelchair basketball, when I'm playing, I'm not in pain. Every time I get in my wheelchair, I'm always like, yes, this feels right, and I just move without discomfort. Weirdly enough, being in a wheelchair and playing wheelchair basketball, I think I'm gaining muscles in places I didn't think I could gain muscle in places from being in a wheelchair. I, weirdly enough, think I'm actually gaining muscle on the tops of my thighs because when I push, since I have all range in my lower limbs, my muscles contract constantly when I'm pushing because I'm trying to grip and balance and everything in my chair, which means I feel like I'm gaining muscles in my legs, weirdly enough. And of course, I am gaining muscles in my upper body. And I find that the pain that I had when I first started is way less. Like I would get like quite a bit of shoulder pain, but that makes sense if you're not used to pushing and that's your main form of transportation. But I find that has also lessened, and it's incredible to play a sport and realize my feet don't hurt when I play said sport. That is where the area of pain I have most is usually my feet, which sucks because you need your feet to go places. And when your feet are causing you pain, it's a pain to do anything. So sitting in a wheelchair, moving the wheelchair, playing in the wheelchair, and just enjoying has been an eye-opening experience. And if the talk ever came to, hey, do you think you should maybe contemplate using a wheelchair part-time? The conversation is not going to be as scary because I already use a wheelchair in my active lifestyle, weirdly enough. But yeah, I just decided to make a video on what it's been like as someone who is ambulatory playing a adaptive sport. It's been amazing and I love it, and if you're looking at this video and think, wow, adaptive sports seems like something I want to try, look to see if your community has any adaptive sports. If it's just recreationally, you could probably join said sport, whether you're able-bodied or not. I hope you liked that video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye!